Hello, and welcome back to the Witcher Wild Hunt. Today we are
Nilfgaard's tale begins in the
continuing.
White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials and tribulations, Geralt finally learned that Yen was in nearby Vizima.
Yes, and right now Geralt, being all nice, scrubbed, shaved and cleaned, is ready to face the Emperor, who has some kind of an offer that I guess Yennefer has already agreed upon, and I need to learn what is it all about. So let's proceed.
And they say clothes do not make the man. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
No.
A studded doublet and a sword on my back, that's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough. The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the North and South. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
I'm not some boor. I know how to bow.
Please, demonstrate. That, sir, is how you might bow to a whore on a street corner, not to the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Please watch. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse.
It was left leg forward. But I mean, I am the Witcher, right?
Gotta be kidding.
Not at all. I am mortally serious. Does the gentleman know the penalty for breaches of etiquette in the Emperor's presence? 200 lashes. I do not wish that upon him, so I will not let him leave until I am confident that he knows how to behave.
Jesus, you're persistent.
Lacking fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings. Come with me.
That's a progress, I guess.
The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate title.
Your arch magnificency?
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect. Im grimi eb art ketzer. Daifen aden in karn eb marvut. Emhyr var emreis.
Bow!
I mean, I rehearsed it, so...
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer ep the orde.
Velen namen, vatkan favort. I thought you bowed before no man.
Didn't want to disappoint the Chamberlain. We're friends.
You're
Take it you
tall.
didn't summon me to reminisce about the good old days. So...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The Wild Hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30? So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
I need information, not motivation. Ciri leaves few tracks. She'll be hard to find.
My corps of spies will help you. Count on them, and my army, should the need arise. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
Oh, that was rather brief.
Follow me, if the gentleman pleases. Please keep close. There are many honorable guests in the palace, whom the gentleman
Disgusts.
need not bother.
And it's past noon.
Calm yourself.
What? Do you know who you're talking to, soldier? I'm Herivard II, Prince of Elander. Not only am I made to wait here like some supplicant, but with who for company? A tinter.
Tanner. Master of the Tanners Guild?
As if it makes a damn difference. I demand...
Calm down. The Emperor demands silence. Those who disturb face harsh punishment, no matter their birth.
Dude's beast.
We zien es war Novigrad?
Ja, nein. Ratsliden nicht, es tun, es ist sauer an nein fire.
Es is ziet efsat. Ep finser nein mathenk. Nein kof hotel an empf pavar.
Es frag, kiaside.
Duth. Wisse voor atra es paese.
Van Atra? I think I remember this name.
Ted taghein en kalant nes of voloi sau. Ep Toussaint?
Mind if I interrupt?
Why not join in instead?
We're discussing neutrality. How difficult it is to preserve.
Still worth trying.
Because?
Because there are few causes worth serving, even fewer men. Enough about that. Mind if we change the subject? So, talk to the Emperor.
Why did he summon you?
So not even you know.
No. But I wager it's an ordinary witch's contract.
Some werebubs.
Weeabubs.
See ya.
Soon, mind you.
Not request.
Is verderf.
Velen, katta af. Tve gleidevin. Össe vatgarn.
Esma streken epfoltast in karnen.
Kein Vios. Evios kenes in Bale. Es is sant. Es war Nodling.
Allied.
Dudes, that's not nice to discuss while I'm
Forgive
here.
us, sir. We are occupied.
Yeah,
Is the
discussing
gentleman
me.
not in a hurry? The gentleman will have time for a stroll later. Please stay with me.
I told the Emperor that we are friends, but you are really pushing the boundary, man.
En med detta,
In
Estrat
web
is en Novigrad.
en selfit en kart Fe, esse plenten ep not make, en selfit den sikiad hefet. Kaspa ken guvelede, tumeva, imherod kassi vandra slaffi ep, karten dukas fikovaro, glen esse place. Havandra galo eso nakagavasa.
Why did we stop?
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
If you say so.
Yet. Yes? Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants' guild, but the Church of the Eternal Fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
Who are you, man?
Vedimin. Directly out of Nordling tales. Inconceivable.
This is...
Sword for Witches. We covered that. Perils of the North. Novigrad. No one can claim to have traveled to the Northern Realms who has not been to Novigrad. If I were forced to list what during my many meanderings has made the greatest impression on me, it would be precisely this great and yet at the same time free city. A metropolis worthy of the Empire, its only flaw is that the civilization Nilfgaard carries within her has not yet enlightened it. That is why hordes of recreational cultists of the Eternal Fire dwell in the midst of its excellent buildings and superb commercial infrastructure. One feels as though superstition is how the local hierarch and his temple guard cement their power over the city dwellers. And many they are to control, for the city counts no less than 30,000 of inhabitants. While strolling through its fabulous port, surrounded by marvels of architecture, it is hard to imagine that centuries ago Novigrad was a mere minor elven townstead. When the city fell into the hands of the Nordlings, its problems grew exponentially, for, as is well known, the people of the North can do a great many things, but peaceful and orderly cohabitation is not one of them. And so Novigrad first belonged to Redania, and then fell under Temerian rule, until finally, after endless compromises and bargains, it at last became a free city. But is the city truly free? I dare to doubt it. Redanian influence makes itself felt too strongly on every street corner, and the fact that the city is located within Radovit's territory speaks for itself. While wandering the city's streets, I came across 4 watermills, 8 banks, and nearly 19 pawn shops. There are also a great many houses of simple pleasures, such as taverns and brothels, and Novigrad's commitment to matters of faith is borne witness to by the fact that the city contains no less than, I kid you not, 19 temples to the Eternal Fire. What more can be said? I think Novigrad has all the makings of the capital of the world, and perhaps that is what it will one day become. First, however, someone needs to bring order to within her walls. Is there anything else? Bread and some smoking pipe. Vial and a dumpling. I'm wondering why I cannot speak to the guy.
Directly out of Nordling tales. Inconceivable.
A portrayal of the elder races. What is a non-human? The answer is simple. As the very name suggests, it is something which resembles and yet nevertheless is not a human. Though it walks on 2 legs, speaks a tongue similar to our own and dresses in similar attire, it all the same has more in common with base beast than noble man. Dwarves are like moles, they feel best underground and avoid direct sunlight. They like to live in filth, forever smudging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything that can be found within the earth. Rocks, metal, minerals of all shape and color. It is also said that, like the kindred moles, they feed most readily on worms, roaches, and other night crawlers. Halflings, for their part, are more reminiscent of gophers. Fat, lazy, and loud in that typical rodent way, their minds are filled only with thoughts of food and drink, which they steal from other nobler beasts and greedily squirrel away in their hovels. They are marked by a cruel craftiness. You could be dying of hunger, and they would not share a meal with you. You could be howling from poverty, and they could be swimming in gold, and yet they would still fleece you to the last crown. You could do nothing but good to them, and they would still stab a knife in your back. Elves, in turn, seem related to the birds of prey that dwell in far-off Zerikania. They care most for colored feathers. They would most readily spend all day staring at their reflections in the water and singing their own praises. They are so awash in self-love that they no longer feel any desire towards members of the opposite sex in their own species. Their appearance, unquestionably pleasant to the eye, is highly misleading, for they are extraordinarily cruel and are who judge them by looks alone, and any who judge them by looks alone they first dupe and then kill in cold blood. The best proof of this? The so-called Scoia'tael, bandits that claim to fight for freedom, but in truth only long to kill humans. All these vile so-called elder races are, to our great fortune, slowly dying out. Joy fills the heart of every right-thinking man at the thoughts that his great-grandchildren will never know them, that in their day dwarves, halflings, and elves will be merely fairy tale characters used to scare young, impressionable children. What a nice little passage.
Geralt, that tunic, you look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emhyr's court?
And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
How about that? She's grown up?
It's been years since you trained together at Kaer Morhen. A great deal has changed.
You haven't? Not a bit?
I missed those awkward compliments of yours. But let's focus on Ciri, all right?
Right. Emhyr said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emhyr's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
The Wild Hunt? What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
So where's Ciri been seen, exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords, secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance.
Who's that?
Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Excuse me?
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
I don't remember making my choices.
Guess this means we need to split up again.
But
Not
I
my
think
preference,
I kinda
but I
rejected
understand.
Triss.
Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
Cool. And like that, she's gone. Letter found in her chest. Quite a lot of stuff. My dear friend, if you are reading this, it means you found the chest I mentioned in my previous letter. You'll be pleased to know its contents belong to you. After I spoke with the Emperor regarding additional resources to aid in your quest, he was willing to part with these items from his personal collection. Although he was stubbornly cryptic regarding their origins, he did mention they were diplomatic gifts from distant kingdoms. The tiger armor is specifically designed to suit a Western ruler, obviously Emhyr in this case. It was forged in the ancient style of a blacksmith who stole the secrets of its construction from their gods. Also, the legend goes. The swords, to my eye, resemble a Redanian saber, though I'm no expert. These blades supposedly once belonged to a hero of myth and mystery. The man forged a pact with the Vixen spirit and, through her blessing, was granted the ability to slay the monsters that had long plagued his village. As you'll notice, he carried both a steel and silver sword, a fact I thought might pique your interest. Unfortunately, legends are all I can offer. As I said, Emhyr was stingy with the details, even more so than usual. It's a shame because I must admit I haven't the faintest idea where they might originate. That being said, I do believe Zerikania and Ofir can safely be ruled out. Dear friend, I trust you will appreciate my efforts to help. Use these gifts as you see fit. I hope they will hasten your search for that which we have lost. Your friend Yennefer.
Scars healed nicely.
The last wish. Human life requires three things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it icebound Povis or evergreen Tucson, everyone asks me about the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets, with one important exception. I have a feeling that this was Dandelion. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, that it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a bushel basket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believe there was room in our grim and dark world for such fantastic marvels. It all began when Geralt and I were feeling a bit peckish, and, unburdened by heavy coin pouches, decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warnings, I opened it, and in doing so freed a powerful djinn. Without giving it much thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes. Before I could get to 3, however, the djinn, irritated, I see now in hindsight, at being issued demands so soon after waking, began to throttle me. Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, the Witcher told me later, as though under the influence of some curse. Clearly the help of an expert in the magic arcana would be needed. It was our good fortune that Yennefer of Vengerberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to her to ask that she heal his best friend, who happened also to be the brightest star in the North's poetic firmament. Yennefer, however, was more interested in the djinn, which she wanted to trap into magic servitude, than in its victim, and, it should be said, played the witcher like a well-strung mandolin. Yet rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white head over muddy boots in love with her. What happened then? Well, I won't go into the details. Suffice to say that Yennefer's plans hardly delighted the djinn, and without its cooperation she proved unable to tame it. The sorceress would surely have met a tragic end, and taken all of the Rind along with her, had Geralt not rushed to her rescue. For once he did not need to draw either of his blades to send the djinn packing her head, but to pronounce the third and final wish. He could have asked for anything, wealth, fame, power, but instead he asked the djinn to bind his fate to that of the arrogant yet intriguing sorceress from Vengerberg. Julian Alfred Pankratz. Julian, you say? Why can I not explore the map? I'm really interested in the map actually. The collected verse of Gonzalo de Vercel. I'm not into poetry, but if you would like to, please pause the game. Pause the video. Have a look. I believe we've seen her portrait. A letter to Yennefer. Yennefer, my dear friend, thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via Megascope. I am trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening, don't you agree? I am delighted you have found a position at our gracious Emperor's court, and wish you the best of luck in the search for his daughter. It is good to know that Emhyr's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Perhaps in these circumstances an agreement regarding the watch will prove possible after all. In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Yaruga. Believe me, I could recognize her magic signature in my sleep. I have not had any contact with Triss for a long time. I only know that things in Novigrad have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Kovir, but I am afraid that in the current political climate that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, however, I must take care of some unfortunate yet urgent matters in Beauclair. With my fondest regards, Fringilla Vigo. Thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet. doesn't he? Fringe you. Rusty bread knife. They have so many pamphlets about that. Have the Wild Hunt and the Royal Lineage. From farmers and herdsmen, milkmaids to midwives, all the common folk of the continent whisper, sharing tales of a wraithly procession pounding across the sky. The Wild Hunt, they call it. Winds and gales, storm and blizzards arise when it is sighted and all grows cold, though the sun shone bright moments before. Some remember only the cold from the shock of the encounter and claim the riders come always in winter, but nay, this is not so. The hunt brings its own ice. Death and war gallop in its wake, or so the superstition goes, yet evil enough is the hunt itself. It takes folk captive, youths most often, in the prime of their wilding years, with 10 to 20 summers behind them. The hunt rushes in and they disappear, only to return years later with no memory of what passed in the time between. Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, born in 1251, heiress to the throne of Sintra, Princess of Brugge and Duchess of Soden, heiress to Ines Ard Skellig and Ines Unskellig, and suzerain of Ater and Abyara, daughter of Pavetta and the urchin of Ellenwoud, granddaughter of the famous lioness of Sintra, Queen Calanthe. A shipwreck occurred during a journey from Sintra to Skellige, which took the lives of the urchin and Pavetta. Cyrilla's further upbringing was then entrusted to her grandmother. In 1260, afraid of the looming Nilfgaardian threat, Queen Calanthe sent Cyrilla to the court of King Elvil, where the heiress of Sintra was to marry the heir to the throne of Verden, Prince Kistrin. Those names. Though allying with Verden and gaining the aid of that realm's army was at the time Calanthe's top priority, no marriage ever occurred, and Cyrilla returned to her grandmother's court. In 1262, during the so-called Sintra massacre, Cyrilla went missing. She who knows. Folk say they were four at first. The mother, she who knows, the Lady of the Wood, came here from a faraway land, and since she suffered terribly from loneliness, she made 3 daughters out of dirt and water. A long, long time ago, the mother was sole ruler of all of Velen. Her daughters brought her the people's requests and served as her voice. Each spring, sacrifices of grain, animals, and men were made to the Lady of the Wood on her special night. Yet as the years passed, the Lady of the Wood slipped deeper and deeper into madness. Her madness eventually spread over the land. Men took to abandoning their homes and setting out into the bog, where they became food for beasts. Before long, Velen was drowning in blood. The daughters saw their land nearing destruction and took it upon themselves to save it. When spring came once more, and with it the night of sacrifices, they killed their mother and buried her in the bog. Her blood watered the oak atop Ard Sebrin, and from then on the tree grew wholesome and hearty fruit for the people. As for the lady's immortal soul, it refused to leave its beloved land, and so the sisters imprisoned it. To this day it lies trapped beneath the Whispering Hillock, where it thrashes about in powerless rage. Cool. Now I can talk to the dude, right? Yes, I can.
Ambassador Varatra, Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
Thank you.
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Edirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwen remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoys, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwen, his ally. Took the Kedweni completely by surprise. King Henselt fought on the front line as always, and that is where he died. His soldiers lost the will to fight. They joined Radovid's ranks, and so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only 1 powerful one.
What about Kavir?
Kavir values its neutrality, enough not to lend its armies, or more importantly, even its coin to either side. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emhyr var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching, not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
Well, I have no pity over Henselt. The man was a douchebag, so...
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever, perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
The only thing that I definitely remember from my previous walkthroughs is that there is a rather tragic story related to the Bloody Baron.
Any news from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenford, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty.
Well, of course.
Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
What's new in Skellige?
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Maybe he has some kind of replacement.
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
Something was definitely wrong with the animations during this dialogue. Mr. Chamberlain.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Yep.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
So, I see we have reached level 4. That means we have new slot. That also means that I have 4 points to spare. And I'd like to explore probably Quen. Ooh! How did it happen? Oh, I need to put 6 points. Okay. So this is some alternate side mode. Side mode. Oh, a puppet might be useful. But I started that one. So how about we just continue with it? I do like this one, but once again, I lack any slot to put there an ability, so we're gonna have to skip that. This is a very good armor that I have absolutely no ability to wear. Crikey. Okay. Those are good blades, I must say. No, it was this one, but what was the other one? Perhaps it was this one. Let's see, I had a bomb here, that's for sure. Okay, should be covered then.
One false move and you will regret it.
Switch to the continent view, press middle mouse button. To return to the map of the region where you are currently located, press it again. Alright. Suggested level 35 to our sun. Or if you say so. 16. It's Velen and Novigrad. This is the royal palace. Okay. I do see a quest offer, and I should never reject that one.
The Emperor shall guide us straight to Novigrad.
What do you say?
See you.
Unless, of course, this quest is about Gwent. That one I will politely turn down. Is there anything interesting by the throne, I wonder?
Nes hen es gwyn.
I cannot run. Well, suggest we start with Velen. Hanged Man's Tree. And I see my stash. This is a big map, I must say. But I believe this is Novigrad, right?
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, but something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her, at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
Alright. Velen, 5 days later. I can confirm that is a tree of hanged people. Thankfully, I don't see anybody in green. I'm thinking of the arsonist. So, although we do know that he was hanged. So. Hey, you are welcome. Thank you. Runeright. While playing the Hearts of Stone expansion, you can encounter Runeright marked by the icon on your map. This new craftsman, the only of his kind, comes from a far-off land and can use his arcane knowledge to considerably improve your equipment. Seek him out and see for yourself. Welcome to the Blood and Wine expansion. In this mode, all the quests of the main storyline are still available to you. To begin playing quests from Blood and Wine, you must first complete a Poet Under Pressure quest. Anything else? No? The Nilfgaardian connection.
Go!
If only I could collect like this. What, you wanna fight with me? Yeah, just as I thought. Moudberrydale. This is a hard to pronounce thing. Let's see, what do they have here. Help us send him off, to whomever has eyes to read. The other day, our Falibor died. We've no means to bury him properly, not a white shirt in the house, no cloth for a shroud, no planks for a coffin. If there is aught you can spare, help, please. If we don't send him off to the next world proper-like, he'll haunt us all in revenge. A plea. For lack of better fare, I fed my youngings pancakes made of ground acorn. The poor tykes have lain on the straw for 3 days since, their bellies growling something awful, getting sick and crying without end. If you know how to help, come to my hut. I have not to give in return but a warm word and a prayer of thanks. I guess we can check it out, right? A warning. In lonely woods, screams carry on. Shadows creep far in deep dark dale. Beware ye then the grove's wild song, or in the wild will end your tale. If you say so. Forefathers' Eve approaches. 'Twill soon be Forefathers' Eve. Tormented souls, souls who've not known rest after death, hungry, tired, scared ghosts, they'll soon walk among us. We'll carve the jacks and send them into the next world with chant, prayer, and kind words. Prepare yourself. Watch what you say. The trees have ears. A kind stranger. Good people, take pity and hear my plea. My wife Hannah, she's missing. A few days ago she went into the woods and hasn't yet returned. I am near out of my wits with worry and will pay any price to the man who brings her back to me, or at least tells me where to look for her.
Wild hunt take them all.
So you bump into me and you shout as a crazy. Some quests might be too difficult for you at the moment. Each quest has a suggested level shown next to its name. Once your character reaches that level, you are ready to take on this quest. Oh, come on, this cannot be like this. Find a boat headed to Skellige. Visit trees in her house. Okay. This hunter is pretty far away. I would have expected him to be... Christ! I thought you'd be like in the same village, man. This stuff is considerably closer. I'll take paper, I might use it later. You never know what you need in the wilds.
Bar your windows tight. Nail an iron stud in the door frame. If only I had enough to leave at the doorstep.
White one. What's your business? Bloody Baron know you're here?
Then both forces attacked, one from either side. Cavalry swooped in from the wood. A wall of infantry marched from the swamp. Our boys wished to surrender, but the Black Ones would take no prisoners. They gathered our men, stood them in a circle, and cut down every last one like the butchers they were. Poppies cover the meadow now. Or perhaps they're kingcups, drunk on blood from the soil.
This'll be
Slow now.
Don't want to hear that drivel.
Give me one moment.
That's it, Roach.
Step away. Chaplain's praying, can't you see?
Do not cast him out, Roderick. All may draw from the well of the Eternal Fire's grace. Approach, Witcher.
Can I read these things?
What do you want?
Rejoice, for even a creature as depraved and base in nature as you can serve the glory of the Eternal Fire.
You are impolite.
Someone must see to the corpses on the battlefield. Necrophages defile those not already rotting in mass graves. This is not right.
That's to be my good deed for the day?
A handsomely profitable one, I might add. I know your kind don't work for free.
All right, I'll take care of it.
This will count amongst your merits. The more good one works in life, the more hallowed things are. Yes, splendid. Here are the holy oils. Dash generously and set alight, understood? I wish it to flare up to the sky, for the glory of the Eternal Fire and all that.
Once I've incinerated the bodies, where'll I find you?
I shall be near the bridge to Novigrad.
That's pretty far away. So, yeah, we have 3 of them. Not very close, but I believe we can make it work. Oh, you do pack a punch. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure stinks like a mass grave. Now for the holy oils. Hope they burn well.
Only one way to find out, right?
Now for a shot of Igni.
Now we have the other 2. But where is that one? Over there. You say on the bridge to the Novigrad. That's gonna be somewhere in this area, right? I mean, I could first go somewhere over there, right? Maybe check out those 2. This road should lead me to the marker, right? More or less. This is a big tree.
Slow now.
Nilfgaardian deserter? So that's their camp. I'd rather not piece them more than that's necessary. Excuse me. There can be enemies in the water. And how do I fight them? I mean, there must be some tutorial, right, for that? Okay, thankfully those two are not very persistent. I believe I found a new blade. A moon blade. You're a silver sword that have an increased damage and sign intensity, critical hit bonus, critical hit chance, chance to freeze, and 3 slots for runes, which is interesting. I can increase my sign intensity. Chance to cause burning. So can I just bump those things? I've got to say, those Nilfgaardian deserters, yeah, they seem tough.
Run, Roach.
And there were a lot of them, right? Yeah. There is always hope that whatever the danger you encounter, there will be an opportunity to deal with it. Yeah, apparently it's not always the case. Okay, I think that's close enough. Some necrophages, right?
Yeah,
oh, I haven't
sure stinks like a mass grave. Now for the holy oils. Hope they burn well. Come on.
Okay, that was bearable, but I was still hit. Do we have anything else to loot in here? Yeah, there is some kind of chest with ashes. Alright.
Now for a shot of Igni.
And now we have our last point. But I'm curious if we can check out maybe those two and go somewhere like this. But knowing how that can develop, I suggest that we just wrap the episode around here. Otherwise, it may just drag, like, let's check this, let's check that, let's run away from these guys, let's run away from those guys. So yeah, maybe later. For now, it was a nice episode. We had a chat with an emperor. I mean, that gotta mean something. So yeah, we'll take a break over here and get back to exploration, horse riding, and getting ourselves into trouble sometime later. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay, and in such a case, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, or otherwise let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. Hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there. Bye.